Earth is a very complex place. Although it looks like one large structure, it's actually got a lot going on that you may not see if you don't look closely. All of the processes on Earth are driven by four spheres, which we describe individually but are really all connected. The names of each of these spheres come from Greek words that describe what they're made of: geo for ground, hydro for water, bio for life, and atmo for air. Let's look at each of the four spheres in a bit more detail to gain a better understanding of how they help make up the Earth. Since geo means ground, the geosphere describes all of the rocks, minerals, and ground that are found on and in Earth. This includes all of the mountains on the surface, as well as all of the liquid rock in the mantle below us, and the minerals and metals of the outer and inner cores. The continents, the ocean floor, and all of the rocks on the surface, and all of the sand in the deserts are all considered part of the geosphere. Basically, if it looks like solid ground, it's part of the ground sphere. Knowing that hydro means water, you may have guessed that the hydrosphere is made up of all the water on Earth. This includes all of the rivers, lakes, streams, oceans, groundwater, polar ice caps, glaciers, and moisture in the air like rain and snow. The hydrosphere is found on the surface of Earth, but also extends down several miles below, as well as several miles up into the atmosphere. Most of Earth's water is salty and in the oceans, about 97%. Two-thirds of the remaining 3% is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps. Only 1% of the hydrosphere is liquid freshwater, and even most of this exists as groundwater down in the soil. With the prefix life, this means that Earth's biosphere is composed of all of the living organisms on the planet. This includes all of the plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and single-celled organisms found on Earth. Most of this life exists no deeper than about 10 feet into the ground or about 600 feet above it. Because each individual is so small in relation to the overall planet, organisms are often grouped into biomes, which are regional communities characterized by vegetation and climate. You are likely already familiar with some of these, like deserts, grasslands, and rainforests. The final sphere is one you've probably already heard of. This is the atmosphere, which is the air that surrounds Earth. This air sphere is made up of mostly nitrogen, some oxygen, and small amounts of many other molecules. Most of the atmosphere is densely packed near the surface, which is where all of our weather occurs, but it extends to over 300 miles above ground. However, exactly where it ends and space begins is difficult to say. The atmosphere acts like a giant blanket, protecting us from harmful UV radiation and keeping our planet warm. Earth is one large planet, but it can be divided into four main spheres, which get their names from Greek words. The geosphere is all of the rock, land, and minerals on Earth, and you can remember this because geo means ground. The hydrosphere is all of the water on Earth, which makes sense since hydro means water. Bio means life, so all of the living organisms on Earth make up the biosphere. And finally, the atmosphere above us is all of the air surrounding Earth because atmo means air. While these spheres are described individually, they often occur in the same location and interact to drive Earth's processes.